Hey friends, in today's video, I want to tell you a little bit about the spiritual discipline of simplicity. In total honesty, I had no idea that simplicity was a spiritual discipline at all until recently. And one of the questions that I immediately had was, okay, why does our stuff matter that much? Like, why would narrowing down the amount of things that we have in our lives, how would that impact our hearts and our spirits? And yet, at the same time, the story of Jesus and the rich young ruler is one of those key biblical passages where Jesus challenged this young man who wanted to have faith and who wanted to follow Jesus. Go, sell all you have and come follow me. And the rich young ruler was unable to do so. His material possessions actually captured too much of his heart for him to be able to be a disciple of Jesus. And in the same way, our Western materialistic culture loves distracting us with stuff. It takes up our time to maintain, it takes up our resources to keep and even to earn. And yet at the same time, these possessions won't come with us when we go into eternity. And so the question that we have here on earth is, how can I actually cultivate a life that is focused on Jesus, even by the things that I have in my house, even by the things that I look at and that I interact with on a regular basis. And so there was one book I read earlier this year called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it shocked me actually that here was a book just asking the question, like, how do we as humans cultivate habits and make them lasting and effective? And one of the biggest things he talked about was the stuff in our lives. The items that we keep around us actually pull us towards different habits and different kinds of lifestyles. And it was just one of those moments where I realized, again, here's actually a secular writer saying things that directly contribute to our spiritual development. And so even for me, this form of practicing simplicity has come in some non-materialistic ways as well, because I just realized, for example, that my phone was too much of a distraction for me. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. And so I can't have social media on my phone right now. It's too much of a distraction. And at the same time, Connor and I have a pretty small apartment here in Kalispell, and we love it, but it was one of those funny decisions of, our living room is actually too small to have the seating that we want and the TV and the bookshelves and this. Like, how do we pick what stays down here and what gets put in storage? And our final decision was actually we want our bookshelves down here. We want our books to be what we look at when we're in our living room. We want our seating space to be top priority for hospitality even. And those little decisions are actually contributing to our spiritual disciplines of, how do we want to spend our time? Do we want to spend it binge watching Netflix, or do we want to spend it reading? Do we want hospitality at our place to look like TV nights and shows and movies, or do we want it to be more about discussions and quality time? And so we're using our actual material things to cultivate that kind of simplicity in our lives. And I found it really encouraging and really beneficial. And I hope that you guys today just have a better idea of how you can use your actual tangible items in your home to cultivate your spiritual life with Jesus and point you closer to him. Well, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. But in the meantime, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you and give you peace. See ya.